Hey guys, so I'm sure you've definitely heard about Myka Stauffer's decision to rehome her kid, her child, her adoptive son. Oh my gosh, I just had to jump on here and basically give my food for thought because I'm so worked up and it's just been completely flooding my YouTube. This is a family that I've been following for so long and my heart went out to her. I watched her like draw my life and really invested into her. She was like up there with my top favorite family, and of course I know like a lot of followers followed her because of her adoptive journey, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents from being like a follower. And I know that a lot of people who have been sitting down and doing these videos don't know their story, but for people who have followed their journey, I feel like a lot of people are just as heartbroken and just as shocked. I'm shocked. I cannot believe what has happened, and I understand that, you know, adopting a child is definitely an emotional investment, but what really gets me is that they had another baby, guys. They had another baby and then they gave their son up for adoption, rehomed him, and I'm just so frustrated and furious and angry, and I can't help but feel worked up. And I know, no, you know what? There is no excuse for this. This is like so inhumane. I'm so against rehoming pets. I can't even imagine rehoming a child. If you're adopting a child, you're adopting them, no matter what condition they come with. The fact that she knew, it's been stated in previous videos, and she ignored the doctor, that makes me even more angry. She was committed from him to the beginning. She should have been committed to him to the end. And the fact that they had money as well to no, you know what, even if you don't have money, you still have to give it your all. If that's your child, whether they are biologically birthed or adopted, you still are committing your life to them. I just am so furious right now, and it's just absolutely unacceptable. I don't care what her excuse is. I'm just so angry. Oh my gosh. They have more to means than the average person. They have 3 active channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. If they couldn't have taken care of this child, they could have hired help. They could have like hired a nanny, hired additional services. They have the money to do it, and if they don't, then they need to sacrifice their lavish lifestyle and downsize, because this is no excuse. Whether your child has autism, whether they have another disability, you do not give up on your child. I know parenting is so hard, but they committed to poor Huxley, and I know like a lot of people are furious right now, and I get it, especially when you are a mum and you give your all. You don't give up your child. Oh my god. I'm just, you know what, a lot of people have touched base on their perspective and what they're going through, but think of the trauma inflicted on this child. I have no idea what it's like to be adopted. I can't put myself in those shoes because I haven't walked that experience, but I do know what it's like to have separation anxiety and trauma from a parent leaving you. I've suffered it all my life, and imagine just being this poor young child, a baby, toddler. They're so attached to their parents. Imagine being ripped away from your parents, put in this orphanage, given this family, getting used to a certain routine. Children thrive off routines, and children on the spectrum need that additional help to become settled in their environment. Imagine then everything you've known being ripped away from you and put into another home. Oh my gosh, I just have chills right now. I cannot process this. It's just blown my mind. I have lost so much respect for this family. I'm just ready to unsubscribe. I'm so sad for poor Huxley. It's like they've exploited him. I know a lot of people have touched base on family vloggers exploiting, which I feel like, you know, there is that fine line between making money off your children and protecting their privacy. And of course, like, you know, for myself, I implement a little bit of my son into my vlogs, but I make sure to really respect his rights. But they fully made money off this, guys. They documented the whole journey. It's the whole reason why they are as big as what they are, and they just gave him up. Oh my god. Can we just like take a minute, take a step back and think about this? They adopted him. They made money. They got rid of him. They've still got so many subscribers. I am ready to unsubscribe because that is not okay. With all of the stuff in the world that's going on right now, they just gave up their child. How do they know that the home that he's in is going to take care of his needs? I know that they've kept everything private and they want to respect him, but this is not, how are they respecting him when they've just given up on him? Imagine how he would feel about himself. Imagine the doubt and the trauma and the PTSD inflicted on this poor child. He will never think he's good enough for anyone. He will never think he's worthy. He will have to go through so much therapy, and they've just gone and sabotaged this. He was traumatized before, but they've just completely traumatized him so much more. And I don't care what anyone says, like any excuses that they give for this family. You do not give up your child, whether they are biological or adopted. When you're adopting, you're committing. They were 100% sure that they wanted to go through with him. They spoke to doctors who said that yes, he has emotional needs that you may not be able to meet, and they still continue to commit to him. They had another baby, right? This is what makes me so angry. They had another baby, and then what, 6 months later, he's up for adoption. He's up for rehoming. Who even says rehoming? He's not a dog. He's not an animal. You don't just rehome your adopted child. You don't just rehome any child. Sorry, rant over. I'm just so upset and furious. And as a mother and as a family member of like I have family members who have autism, so I get how hard it can be. I put my hand out to parents who have children on the spectrum because it is hard. But at the end of the day, you do not give your child up, no matter what the situation is. I don't care if you are making millions of dollars and it's not fit for your eloquent family. You don't give a child up when you've committed to them. It's just not okay. It's like the worst sin you could possibly do, and I've lost respect for this family, and I'm so ready to unsubscribe. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see what excuses they will come up with next. And I'm with everyone else who is angry and upset at this family, because to document the whole thing, to exploit this child and to make a profit off it. I hope the money that they've made is going to go towards this child and to support his future. I hope that they've invested in him, but who knows, they have 4 other biological children that they're committed to, but they cannot commit to their adopted child. Like, don't adopt. Just don't do it. I'm so upset, and I just had to jump on the bandwagon and express what it's like to follow this family, and to, you know, I'm sure a lot of you are feeling a lot of hate, a lot of frustration, a lot of sadness. a lot of you who have invested yourselves into this family and their adoptive journey, and I know a lot of you are looking out to adopt or even foster. In Australia it's about fostering, but this is just so heartbreaking, and I feel like it's a real wake-up call to a lot of people that you need to follow through with your commitments no matter what. I'm a strong believer that if you say something, if you commit to something, you follow through. So I'm gonna end it on that note. I'm sorry for the emotional rant. I just had to get it out there. I had to give you a perspective of what a former follower thinks, and you know, a lot of people who are commenting and criticizing and putting videos out here are people who don't know their journey, but I have been following their journey for quite some time now, and I'm just as upset as someone who has, you know, just figured out about this. Like, if not more upsetting, because I had invested my time into this family, and you know, it just, the thought of it just, I'm so shaken up over this. I just am in so much disbelief. I cannot believe that they've just given up their child, had a new baby, and then given up their autistic child because they can't handle it. And like, there is no excuse.